Hello and welcome to another episode of the Smash Accept podcast. I'm your host, Michael Royer. You can find me on Twitter at Dynasty Dad FF. Joined as always by my main man at FF Snoog. And it's Trade Show Tuesday, so you know we got Broc Lobster, the Broc Stash himself, in the host chair ready to go. And, you know, Broc, every single week we have had our best two trade shows we've had back to back as far as views, as far as live views, as far as total YouTube views. It's starting to grow, man. People are excited about trades. This is the place where they want to come to it. And I'm excited for tonight's show. We are going to give away, if we hit 20, we haven't done it for a while, but we're going to give away at 10, 15, we're going to give away a VIP Patreon month. If we hit 20, I'm going to give away a spot, whether you're Discord, whether you're YouTube, whether you're Twitter, whatever you're at, we will give away an opportunity to play in Smash Accept 21 with myself, which is an awesome league. You guys are both in those. They're super fun. Tons of trades. Let's get this puppy going.
Yeah, those Smash leagues are the absolute best. And those are the leagues where trading starts right when the new league transitions. I got a couple other leagues. People are still a little bit out of it. They don't love the year-round part of Dynasty, but those leagues, man, they're always jumping. I'm constantly getting DMs. Got to mute my phone at work sometimes. So you guys definitely want to get in those Smash Accept leagues.
Yeah, and Snoog, we're on our quest for 10K. We are this close away. Once we hit 6K, I'm going to give away that Nico Collins jersey, so that'll probably be next week. We'll give that away live on the show. If you guys do a super chat, this is your last chance to get involved with that. But Snoog, I mean, the YouTube page has been popping. You and I have been grinding, doing this every single day to try to give out, 4 or 5 videos a week, and it's been fun.
Yeah, the only thing that gets me more excited of the road to 10K is Mike McDaniel's calling plays for the Chargers next year, so I'm excited to look at this show. We got a lot of Chargers players on this list. We're going to talk about what this does for this offense, who you should be buying, and who should be capitalizing on with these values.
Got the cranberry grape Welch's Ghost.
You got a different flavor every week.
I'm a connoisseur, Bubby. Let's go.
All right.
He really does have a different flavor.
He does.
You should make like a TikTok of like testing flavors.
Working on my sponsorship. Here we go.
Trade one coming from Danny DePaul from Twitter. We got Mahomes and the 102 or Drake May coming off a big win conference championship here. Snoog, what do you think on this one?
I'm going Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes and the 102. The 102 is going to be a phenomenal piece, or at least that equivalent player to the 102 is going to be a phenomenal player, whatever you do. Trade or make that pick. Patrick Mahomes. Dude, he with Eric Bieniemy, he was an absolute stud of a gunslinger. I think this whole offense, like Mike McDaniel's with the Chargers, I think this whole Chiefs passing offense takes a huge boost. Super strong relationship with him. He knows him inside and out. He knows his strengths, his weaknesses. We're gonna see like prime Mahomes back, like he already was. I mean, he was phenomenal this year before the injury, into a fantasy football perspective. So I'm gonna take that here. I think you're getting 2 cornerstone assets for one. Hate trading Drake May. He's damn near untradeable, but this is enough for me to move the needle.
This trade and the listener's last name make me think of a little bit of Rob Riggle action with a pow. Let's go, man. I love this trade. Honestly, this is a big disconnect where last year Patrick Mahomes right now is probably going late first to early to mid second in your startups, and Drake May's going 101. And I think the 102 is kind of going in that fourth round range. So you say a fourth and a second for a first, it's tough. But I mean, honestly, I'm taking Patrick Mahomes there. I think that's just the value that you're going to get with Eric Bieniemy back. You're going to see some monster numbers. So hard to trade Drake May, though. It's so hard in this particular situation. I mean, I think I would do this trade and I would try to move back from 102 to 105. Mendoza's going to be there at 102. Lemon, Tyson, but once you get to 5, I think you're still going to get something really nice. So this is an interesting trade. I love kicking it off with one like that where it's a little bit more controversial, but we got a couple super chats in here already. Fernando Cruz is already saying, hell yeah, we got Herbert too. We're super excited about some of these trades. He says that this is his first year in Dynasty. No better place than to jump in with Smash Accept, guys. We have our Patreon, Discord. We are in there giving you guys advice 24/7. Let's jump over to our first super chat here from Thatcher.
All right. Appreciate the super chat here, Thatcher. He said, should he send 103 Brian Thomas Jr. and Tyjae Spears for Luther Burden and Chris Olave? Dad, what do we think on this first super chat tonight?
So I have Olave worth the 104. So the 103, 104, we'll just call that, that's a wash. That's pretty close. I know everyone's going to say Burden's worth more than Brian Thomas Jr. Burden did look fantastic down the stretch. He had that great game in your fantasy championship. The last 3 weeks have been more like 3 to 5 catches for 40, 50 yards. His value is more than Brian Thomas Jr., but this is a trade I just don't want to make right now. I think the 103, if Lemon or Tyson hit, is better than anybody on that right-hand side. So then it becomes down to BTJ, who to me is a highly volatile player. If you believe in BTJ, we saw what the ceiling is. If you don't, we saw what the floor is. You know what I mean? So I have no problem going with the Burden Olave side. I just don't want to trade the 103 BTJ right now. I think on the clock, 103 gets you Olave plus, and then I think you're in a spot where you can do a little bit better. Snoog, help me out with that one, because this is one where it's every single pick, we are going to see increase in value. You're going to see Mendoza go to the Raiders. That's going to be a lock at 2 more than likely. So now all of a sudden, let's say the Bills trade up and get Lemon. Let's say there's a lot of things that can happen in this particular draft, because everybody that's drafted in the 20s needs a wide receiver, and everybody that's drafted in those, late teens, early teens, they don't necessarily need it. I've seen guys potentially getting drafted already in the top 5 to 8 in this wide receiver group. So I'm leaning with the pick just because I feel like you can get more once we get to draft day.
Yeah, I'm going to lead that left side as well. I think that 103 kind of holds the cemented value there. BTJ is so tough for me. I really want to see him get moved. I just don't think with Trevor Lawrence and this Liam Cohen's offense, it's just not going to be able to do much. I don't, it's weird. It's you never see a wide receiver even before his rookie contract gets traded. And typically I feel like if they do that, it's probably for a bad reason. They're just not good, right? Or they get cut or something. So it's probably going to be he leaves there after this stretch, or he stays and maybe they get him involved more and more next year. Because I saw Liam Cohen get Mike Evans involved, and he was an absolute star, and they kind of went in similar ways downfield. I think it's more a Trevor Lawrence issue, though. So I'm going to stick with that, though. I'm going to stick with BTJ in the 103 side. And then on draft day, I know I can get Lemon or one of these other guys at that 103 spot that I think is going to be the most valuable asset in this trade.
BTJ is the biggest risk reward there is I hate trading a guy like BTJ, right? Olave, the value is never going to change for Chris Olave. He's not going to go up higher, right? But he could dip a little bit more. But it's BTJ is just all over the place. Because
have you seen any BTJ trades? I haven't.
They're few and far between. And I saw one guy today said I can get a mid 27 first for BTJ. I said that's fine. Reset the clock. That's fine, right? But a lot of people are saying, Dad, 110 or BTJ. What the hell are we doing? What are you going to get for the 110? This is not that class. You're going to get Elijah Surratt, and you're going to be let's see what happens. It's just it's not going to be the same ceiling. So if you could buy BTJ for a late first, I'm all aboard.
I like it. All right, next super chat coming in from Jaime Angel. Appreciate it here, Jaime. What should I ask for Bucky? He also has JT, Hampton, and Cook. Oh, he's loaded with picks. 101, 102, 104, and 113. I think he's asked about this league before. It's a 14-team league. So he has Bucky. What should he be looking to trade for? He's got a great RB room, London, Bird, and Evans at receiver, and a great tight end room too, Warren and Fan and Snoog. What would you do here if shopping Bucky?
Yeah, I would actually be targeting, a 27 first type of asset, and then I'd be looking for some type of veteran type player throw in. Maybe it's Bucky in a second for Javonte in a first, or Etienne in a first, or Derrick Henry in a first type of move, or even Kamara in a 27 first, and maybe get a 27 second thrown on top in there. I'm fine moving off of Bucky, but I actually do like the fact that Rashad White's probably gone. I think that does bring more intriguing value to Bucky Irving's game, but I don't know. He left such a bad taste in my mouth and a lot of owners' mouths this year. Just towards the end, 70 rushing yards, no touchdown, no receptions. It's just what is this guy even going to do for me in fantasy? I can't even start him. So a lot of sophomore slumps in that class.
I'm looking at this, and it's you have 4 RB1s. I mean, Genty, Hampton, Cook, and Love. That's sick.
For a wideout.
In a 14-team league, that's insane, right? So I'm looking there, and it's let's start to look at what Bucky can do here. Then I look at the wide receiver room, and it's London JSN is nice. Burden's an upside, but there's no real wide receiver 3 there that's got the value. So take Bucky in the 113 and get a legitimate wide receiver 3 on this team, or even take Bucky and add it to Burden right now. And if you add Bucky to Burden, I think you could literally, and maybe the 113 and get yourself to like Puka plus. Get yourself another elite foundational wide receiver, because you got the tight ends, you got the running backs. I'm assuming 14 team. I think from what I remember talking with you, I think he has Josh Allen as his quarterback. You're set, brother. Just go all in and get that wide receiver. You never regret paying up for a Puka Nakua, a Jamar Chase, a JSN. You just never regret that. You never look back and you're like, man, I gave up the 110, like some late picks in there. You just never do that.
Yeah. Sam coming in with the next super chat. Appreciate it here, Sam. We got a 10-team Superflex league. Quarterbacks, he's got Caleb, Goff, Shuck, and Stafford. Trade idea, should he trade Caleb, Josh Jacobs, Kyle Monangai, and 204 for the 101, 107 Parker Washington and a 27 third Snoog? How would you kind of break this one down, and which side do you lean?
Yeah, this one's interesting. I mean, it looks like Caleb's kind of your anchor QB that you really need here. He's like your cornerstone asset to build around. I mean, that's a pretty good haul for him. Honestly, like that 101 gets close just straight up, probably off by like what, Dad, like a 112, maybe early second in value between Jeremiah Love and Caleb Williams. I don't know what those.
I think in 10 team it's different. In 12 team, I think it's a little further.
I mean, I think you need to keep Caleb in this situation. I'd be more willing to trade Goff or Shuck, I think, and try to keep like 3 of those guys. I think Caleb's your anchor, though, so I'm not like really trying. Like, I think 107 in this class for Jacobs, like, I'd take 107, but I don't think it's like a landslide. So it feels.
Yeah, this is where, I see what you're saying here, Sambone, is you say you have these guys and you've been trying to move to get a quarterback upgrade, but can't. But like, Caleb Williams is my Dynasty QB4, and Matthew Stafford is going to be a top 10 redraft quarterback. So you don't need another quarterback. Like, you have it all here. I think you have a surplus of quarterbacks. So I think you start to shop Jared Goff or Tyler Shuck, and you start to add that way. Like, you have elite quarterback play. Matthew Stafford is going to still be a QB1 next year. Caleb will be a QB1 next year. So I feel like you're in a good spot. Like Jacobs is going to be absolutely fine. I feel like we're just trying to trade to get that 101. And 9 times out of 10, when you trade for the 101, you overpay. It's just what happens. You end up trying to get that new sexy toy, and it ends up being an overpay. I'm holding on this one. I think if you want to start seeing if maybe Goff, Jacobs, 204 get you close to the 101, like if you want to do that, that's fine. But you have really nice quarterbacks. Like I'm not messing with that.
Yeah. Next one coming in from King Tomb. Appreciate the super chat. He said he traded 102 and Michael Wilson for Hampton, stacked at receiver, needed a running back. Did he pay too much? Loving the channel and the Discord, Dad. Bring her up.
So I'm going to do this just because of the recent trade, but I mean, before the news of Mike McDaniels, which just happened literally right before we started here. I mean, we saw Snoog and I have been saying whoever gets Mike McDaniels as their offensive coordinator, that running back's value goes through the roof. And Omarion Hampton's already the RB5, RB6, depending on what you're looking at. So like I had him worth the 102. You could really argue that he's really close to the 101 right now. Michael Wilson is a vessel to get you from the 102 to the 101 type value. So I don't hate this if I'm getting the 102 Wilson side, but Wilson is that thing where Snoog, like I could see Wilson going back to mediocrity if the way things have to roll, right? It was that perfect storm. Jacoby Brissett, Marv was out, playing from behind.
Losing, yeah.
The defense gets a little bit better. Jacoby Brissett's not the quarterback. Marvin Harrison is healthy. I think we could see Michael Wilson fall back into a like we saw with Christian Kirk before, right? When Christian Kirk was the man, not Charlie Kirk, what Stephen A. Smith says, but Christian Kirk, where he was the man for a while because he got that opportunity. Then all of a sudden he went back to being who he was, and Michael Wilson could do that. It's a slight overpay, but I want Hampton here all day long.
Yeah, I like what you said there. I mean, it all depends on what Michael Wilson's worth in your league to me. Like, if I can get any first for him somehow, I would probably keep the 102 in Michael Wilson's side. But if it's like a mid to early second-ish, like that 204 to 206 range, I'm fine taking Hampton here. First round drafted running back, 22 years old, tied to an elite offense.
Stud.
They're going to have a fully healthy all-pro offensive line, like 2 stud tackles, great guard, great center. Like they just have so much on this offense to like Hampton and have him be the focal point of the run game, which Mike McDaniel's literally like reinvented the run game. Like he is so good at establishing the run in a heavy play action offense with Haba and Justin Herbert. This is going to be phenomenal for him. Give me Hampton here, unless I can get a first for Wilson.
And Snoog's pumped up when he starts to throw that Boston accent in there with a little bit of Haba. When he starts getting that Boston accent in, he's pumped.
Arba.
Huh?
I can't even say his name to begin with in general. So
that's good. All right, Rolando Robledo, appreciate the super chat here. Javonte Williams or 2:27 seconds down. Where do we think this one is?
So here's the deal: if Javonte leaves and is a starter in Minnesota or anywhere where he's going to continue to be the starter, it's a win. If he stays in Dallas, it's a smash accept. I'm paying 2 seconds for Javonte Williams any day of the week. He had a resurgence. I think Dallas ends up bringing him back, and he's a top 15 running back. So at his age, I think this is good value where 95% of the running back one production is going to cost you a mid-first or higher. You're getting a guy there for 2 seconds. I got no problem with that. Like Javonte, Etienne, those are the guys that I'm buying right now because they're cheaper than everybody else.
Absolutely killed it. I think if he stays in Dallas, you fleece. If he goes to Minnesota, if he goes to some of these other teams, you fleece. If for some reason he gets stuck in some committee and just doesn't get a big contract and it's like a cheap deal and teams don't value him like that, I think he probably still can win this trade, but it all depends on what he does. But he just had 1,200 yards. He looked phenomenal. I don't imagine Dallas not giving him like a little bit of like a 2-year, 3-year deal on like, I don't know, $10 million per year. So,
yeah. All right. This one coming from P-Spin. Appreciate the super chat here. Almost forgot to get my weekly super chat in. No idea what to ask for. Auction Dynasty Keeper League. He has the Rams and Pats defense for $1. Multiple teams interested. Not too often we get a defense here question here, Dad. But with these two defenses for fantasy, which one would you keep? What do you prefer?
I keep the Rams. I mean, you keep the Pats?
Yeah, I'd take the Pats.
I don't play in any more dynasty leagues with defenses. Like I'm so used to redraft, like streaming. But when it comes to dynasty, like I have tried to eliminate. Well, no, I have. Every league I play in doesn't have kickers or defense just because there's such a crapshoot there. I think it's a situation where you take the one that somebody else wants more because both of these are very similar, and you try to do a 2-3 swap where you're like Rams defense in a third for a second and get yourself something that you can have that's an obtainable asset. But I have no problem keeping two defenses, especially when you're talking dynasty in that format. I would have no problem keeping them, so I would kind of roll that route unless you're blown away. You know what I mean?
All right, we're up to super chat number 7 here again. If you didn't catch Dad at the beginning of the show, 10 and 15 can be some VIP months for the Patreon. And then if we do hit 20, we're going to be giving away a spot into Smash Accept 21. That only does a few of these each offseason. You want to make sure to get in those. So if we hit 20, we'll be
21 and older, man. This is our drinking league here. Smash Accept 21.
All right, this next super chat coming from Nick Mancini. Thank you here, Nick. BTJ 109 and a late 27 and 28 first. So BTJ and 3 firsts or Nabers 201, 210 Snoog. What do we think?
I never sell Malik Nabers, but if I can get BTJ and 3 firsts, I don't care if they're mid, late, random. It doesn't matter to me. I don't think you can really say a 28 first is late right now, even how good a team can be. So much can go downhill. I know from experience because I've had teams that I thought are super teams fall off a cliff in a year or two, and then I'm screwed with no 27 first, which I'm in that situation in the league. So I will roll with the BTJ side here. I just think that is so much value on that left side. If I'm rebuilding, my mouth's watering to make that trade. If it's like an 8-man or start 8 dad, I'd be fine packaging all that up for Nabers.
Yeah, it's a 12-teamer because this one was actually on our docket for tonight. So here's what I'm looking at, Brock, is I'm looking at the 201. I think the 201 is equal to a 28 first if it's not mid to early. You know what I mean? He's thinking it's going to be late. So I'm taking the 201 and the 28 first, and I'm throwing them out. So then the next part we look at here is BTJ right now is, we just got done saying, is worth a late first. The 109 is a late first. The 27 first is late. So you're looking at 3 late firsts for Nabers in the 210. If that's, let's call that 108, 109 and a late 27 first. I want Nabers. You're not going to miss with Malik Nabers. Malik Nabers is going to, I understand what you're saying, Snoog, there is like, we talk about 3 firsts, get you almost anybody, but I'm looking at this as like, I'm negating the 201 and the 28 first. So now it's 3 late firsts or Nabers in the 210. I don't trust BTJ the same way I trust Malik Nabers. Like Malik Nabers 10 years from now is going to win you multiple championships. BTJ, we saw a great rookie season, but if he has another season like he did in 2025, he's not even worth a first. Like he was outproduced by Parker Washington the whole way down the stretch. Brock, am I crazy on this one? This is one where you got to break the tie because Snoog and I see where you're at, Snoog. I do. Like if you're rebuilding, I think if you take the seconds off, I'm not even debating it. Then it's BTJ because then it's 4 first.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at those seconds that they do count in here and they are negating some value.
I've made a few trades like this actually in the past, like trading JJF and trading Jamar Chase. It worked out for me in like the couple times that I've ever done it. So that's why I trust these type of leagues or these type of trades in these leagues. You kind of really got to bank on hitting on your draft picks. And I got lucky because the stretch of picks that I did, it was 2021, 2022, and 2023.
Yeah. And
I think the late first I got in 2022 and was George Pickens. And then I ended up with like Achane and I believe it was either Ladd or BTJ in 2024. They were all late first, but I ended up getting like 4 top 5 round startup picks and it worked out because I flipped them all again. So
that's the tricky part. But this isn't like if this was 23, 24, and 25, then you're like low key getting Colston Loveland, you're getting, you're getting some, but this isn't. Like I don't see someone at the 109 popping off this year. Then you're banking on 27 and 28. So Brock, throw in a little bit of insight on this one because I don't think Snoog, I don't think either of us are wrong on this, but it's a very interesting deal.
Yeah, I don't think either of you are wrong either. I would lean the Nabers side. I liked your analysis. The 201, 28 first, just cancel those out, especially if it's late. And then BTJ 109, what are you getting? Boston, Concepcion might even be gone. Maybe the next running back if they go top 2 rounds or something. Maybe Sadiq. I don't know. But at the end of the day, BTJ needs to get traded. If he's just staying with the Jags, I think just play Nabers. But if someone goes and makes a move for him, maybe you can talk yourself into it. But they just extended, what's his name? Jacoby Myers. They already have Travis Hunter and Parker Washington. So I would go Nabers personally.
Yeah. And I think that's a fun trade either way. And I think Snoog and I talked about this on our show today is like, we agree a lot. Sometimes we have different philosophies and there are different ways to, lack of a better word, skin a cat. But when you're playing Dynasty, there's different ways to win. You know what I mean? Like Snoog has made that one work in the past. I get scared about just a bunch of late firsts thrown on there. Too.
Yeah, ideally with something like that, you wouldn't want to make those picks. You let them build up value and trade them during the season next year and go and get, a guy that's kind of teetering on that age cliff, but still producing. And then you could kind of build it out into another starting running back and starting receiver. So I could see how you can make it work, but not by making the picks.
Dude, 23 minutes into the show, 7 super chats. We got a 3/4 of an energy drink down. Oh, there's number 8 already. And this has been a fun show and we're on trade 2. So let's keep going here.
All right, let's hammer through a couple of these from the docket. We got trade 2 from Paradigm submitted through Discord. McCaffrey or a mid to late 27 first and Javonte Williams. Snoog, what do you think?
Cowbell, that was a Discord one. I'm sure he has to add this same question, but he said this to me and I was just like reading. I read it like 7 times to make sure I was reading it right. I'm like, dude, like, yeah, hell yeah. Like this is CMC in the pick, wash out. It's a free Javonte. That's a phenomenal insulated move. And you get younger. You get 5 years younger at the running back position. I think this is a great move.
Yeah, this is that one where it's like, if it's late, it's fair. If it's mid, you kill him. Like Javonte is going to put up 70% of CMC. So you're getting yourself a nice little insulation that, we always talk about down the stretch. Somebody goes down. You use that late first to buy Travis Etienne. Now all of a sudden you have similar production as opposed to when CMC, we just did a show on the running back buys. He's a great buy, but when the wheels fall off, it's over. Like this wagon's going to be gone.
All right, trade 3 here. coming from Quizzy, coming from the Discord, we got Bucky and 206, or Kyle Monungai, a 28 first and 306. Snoog, what do we like here?
Ooh, I'm gonna roll with Bucky here. I'm kind of talking myself back onto the Bucky wave. I was really off it, and now I'm kind of like teetering my way back into it, thinking like they're gonna get a new OC. It was close to being Mike McDaniels, I guess, but he wants that stud Chargers offense with Herbert. I think Bucky's a good buy low right now for a random 28 first. I don't really think Monungai is ever going to be anything special. I think he's a good plotter, like a 2-down guy. I just think, like, if the Bears came across a stud, they're going to take him all day and start him over Monungai. Like, it's a Ben Johnson offense at the end of the day. 206, 306, throw them out the window. They don't do anything for me. So I'm going to go with the Bucky side here.
Draft capital matters, right? Like, as a Monungai is not. I know Bucky didn't have elite draft capital, but he had an elite rookie season. They showed that he was going to be the guy. Like, I don't love 28 first. If that's 27, we're starting to speak my language. You know what I mean? I think it's a lot closer, but I'm here with Bucky as well. I think Bucky's a nice buy, especially with Rachaad White and Sean Tucker. At least one of them is gone, if not both of them gone, so like this is going to be Bucky's offense. And we saw in the beginning of the year when he first started and when he was fresh, my man was putting up 20 plus every single week.
Yeah. All right, super chat coming in from Mike Honcho. Appreciate it here, Mike. He said he traded 101, traded back for 103 in an early 27 first plus a 27 second. Dad, what do we think on this?
Well, first of all, the Mike Honcho name always takes me back to Talladega Nights and gets me going every single time. He did that spread for Playgirl magazine. Good job, Mike. The 101, and we have a couple questions here with the 101. This is something that's feasible, and if that is an early 27 first, legitimately. You smashed it. You're going to get Mekhi Lemon or Jordan Tyson, and you're going to be great. You could literally – there's a non-zero chance that 2 years down the road, one of those wide receivers isn't worth very similar to Jeremiah Love. Then you get the free first and the second. I mean, hold on a second. Let's do it. Like that's a great trade. I have multiple trades on here. I mean, people trading from the 101 to the 102, 101 to the 103. Like, I think you're starting to see a very large gap to start, but I think it might close more as we get closer.
Yeah. Trade 4 here coming from Eric Hughes, submitted through YouTube. We got a 12-team Start 10 Superflex League. Would you rather have 101 or Justin Jefferson? He's got Lamb, Marv, Amon-Ra, and the 103 already. Snoog. Jefferson or the 101?
I'm keeping J-Jeff here. I'm actually rocking the J-Jeff graphic tee right now. Sick. For the show. You got to roll with him. I mean, he's the best wide receiver over the past, 6 years overall, like ridiculous numbers through his first 6-7 seasons. So he's a superstar. I'm still on that hopeless romantic of Justin Jefferson getting traded to an actual good team with a stud quarterback. Never take that out of the cards. Hopkins, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, all of these guys were traded in their 27, 28-year-old season. So I think with Amon-Ra, Lamb, Marv, the 103, you're going to be able to add another stud. I love keeping Jefferson and just stud loading that, 5 wide receiver ones. If you can start all of them, I think that's a phenomenal way to do it.
See, my drink tonight is literally Justin Jefferson. It's a purple ghost. He disappeared. Like, he literally disappeared last year. Look at the rest of this roster. Amon-Ra, Lamb, Marv, and then he's going to get a wide receiver. I would like to try to tailor a different kind of trade, but I think we're in a real situation where the 101 is going to be worth more than Justin Jefferson by the time the season rolls around. If Love doesn't pop off, like Snoog, the interesting part to me is like Genty, right? Like last year, Genty and Jefferson were pretty close. Jefferson was still a little bit higher. Now we talk about what did Genty do with most people perceive that he had a down season. His startup value has not changed one bit. It's gone from like 205 to 206. So I think we really have an opportunity here for Jeremiah Love to take off. I really want to see Justin Jefferson bounce back. I want to know how it gets done. That's what worries me. Is like I have a lot of shares, but how's it get done? We saw McCarthy throw to tight ends. We saw McCarthy throw to underneath wide receivers.
He's so much like Zach Wilson. Jefferson. Like not even. Yeah. I think McCarthy's a better player than Zach Wilson was. I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying like the way he was with Garrett Wilson just just so inconsistent with targeting him. McCarthy's the same way with Jefferson. Just for whatever reason, he's just blind to just force feeding him. I guess I don't know. Mac Jones to the Vikings.
Get that trade
All
in
right.
there.
Trade 5 coming from Tiny Bit of Olive Oil through X. We got Burden in the 209 or Emeka Egbuka. Snoog, what do you think?
I'm going to roll with Emeka here. If that's an early second, I'd be all over the Burden side. Emeka still had 900 yards, like 70-plus receptions or 60-plus receptions and like 6-7 touchdowns as a rookie. Still tied to Baker and the Bucs offense. They have no defense. They're in shootout games in a bad division. Like his time, like he's going to play very well. He's going to be a top 15 and 20 wide receiver consistently, in my opinion. It's no shocker to me that his numbers dipped big time after the hamstring injury and after Baker got hurt. You can kind of like put the pieces together to see why his production fell off. So I'm going to bank on that and hope that I'm right and hope that it isn't a talent thing and it's more so cooked his hamstring, wasn't full speed. I mean, he didn't look like he was. And Baker just was an absolute crap show towards the end of the year. Like that's the worst I've seen Baker played since before he even joined the Buccaneers. So
this is where in Dynasty, if you're smart, you had an opportunity. You could have sold Emeka for Burden in the 27 first. You know what I mean? And now I think Emeka's value is more. I'm with Snoog. If this was 203, I'd really be entertaining it, maybe 202. But I think we saw more from Emeka. I think he's going to end up being a better pro. But both of them, I mean, Burden's value, dare I say, it's approaching overvalued. You know, like it's still Colston Loveland's offense. Rome Odunze is going to be fine if he can catch the ball. You know, DJ Moore if he tries to catch the ball. Burden looked great, but I've seen some trades where, like, I saw someone trade Burden and a late second for Tedaroy McMillan. Like, sorry, it's Tedaroy McMillan. Like, the talent is not the same. The volume is not the same. So I'm slightly leaning to Mecca here, but it's a fun trade.
All right, trade 6 coming from Dad Bod for Life through the Discord. We got Knicks and a random 27 first or 107, 108, and the man who didn't try, DJ Moore. Dad, what do you think?
Give me Bo Nix. Honestly, I think
first.
Bo Nix impressed me in that playoff game. It was gritty. It wasn't pretty, you know what I mean? But as I'm watching that game, I'm thinking to myself, if Josh Allen had Sean Payton's play calling abilities, you know, like behind him, right? But Sean Payton loves Bo Nix. He's tied there. I think Bo Nix is worth more than the 107 and DJ Moore. And I mean, at this point, give me Snoog and I talked about this on a previous show. Give me a random 27 first over the 108. Like, I think this is a multiple asset win. You're getting potentially the two best pieces in this particular trade.
Yeah, I love it. I think you crush it there. I mean, Bo Nix for 2 mid to late first in a weaker class. I mean, I'm not like the biggest Bo Nix guy, but I've been dabbling with a couple shares of him just because Sean Payton, like you said, Dad, I mean, it's just like give it to me offense. Like everyone's open at all times. Like he has like 4 different options. Like check down's always wide open. There's always a zone beater across the middle of the field. There's always a hook 'em route. Like he always has some type of option. And then he just hits like a 50-yard touchdown pass. So it's like he gives you a high ceiling and he runs a little bit. So.
All right, Dad, you want to take this one?
Oh, I like this one a lot. From Ryan Suwan, we got a FTL OTG. That's for the love of the game. Best part of the Smash Discord is there's no off season. If you haven't joined, now is the time. Thanks for the great work, guys. Hey, cowbell to you. You know what I mean? Like, what I got to say right now is if you guys want to join, you know, and I'm not going to flash this one up there, but my man Boat Commish has his own code BOAT50, gets you 50% off your first month. That's BOAT50. If you guys check it out, we don't have an off season. Like most of the podcasts disappear this time of year. Most of your YouTube channels, they're off watching playoff games. Snoog and I and Brock are grinding every single day, putting out content, trying to help you guys look at your rookie draft. And Snoog and I really talked about this the other day. We're like, this 26 class is tricky, right? 25 was like chalk, 1 through 15. You really couldn't mess up unless you took Caleb Johnson. You know, there were very few misses. This year's tough. You're going to want to avoid those busts. You're going to want to learn how to make the trades that we've been trying to get people to do, trade equivalents, getting out of picks, you know, making the smart choices into the tier breaks that we want. And a rookie draft can really make or break your team. A bad rookie draft can set you back for multiple years. A good rookie draft puts you in the promised land a lot quicker than you need to. So, check it out, patreon.com/smash accept.
All right. Yeah, again, appreciate the super chat there, Ryan. Next one coming from is this you, Dynasty? Is this you, Dad?
I'm not large.
Oh no,
boy,
we're on
Bro,
trade 7. I was looking ahead.
I've been losing weight. You see what I mean? Like I lost like 15 pounds since the holiday. Don't be calling me lard boy.
My eyes went to trade 11 for some reason. Trade 7 here, coming from Lard Boy. We got a rebuilding team. Should he keep the 102 or trade it? So he has 107, 108, 109, and then his core is Brees, Marv, Travis, Hunter, Snoog. Should he keep that pick and add to that receiving core with Marvin Hunter, or should he trade? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm keeping that 102. I think I'm more excited to trade 107, 108, 109. Like, go get your, Zay Flowers, T. Higgins, Lab McConkeys, even A.J. Brown with that 109. Like, keep stacking up that wide receiver core. Like, go get established guys in that 24 to 27-year-old range. Load up that core. Keep that 102 for a hammer. You get an option at, Lemon, Mendoza, and Tate Tyson, whoever you prefer out of those guys. If not, you always have the option of shopping it. Maybe look for a Drake London, a Garrett Wilson plus type of option there to get another elite asset. But right now I'm keeping 102. All it takes is like Dad said, Bills, Niners, Broncos, Patriots, one of these teams to move up into the teens and grab a Tyson or grab a Tate, grab a Lemon. I think all 3 of them are going to go in the top 15 to 12 of the draft. I'd be shocked if they don't, because it's a premium position and it's a very thin, weak class. And like so many teams need wideouts right now, in my opinion, at least wide receiver 2s or like a number 1, and they have a 2. So I think that they're going to get some good draft capital, and that you want to hold on to those picks until draft day.
I'm with you, holding on till draft day. I'm trading it almost 99% chance, because if you look at, that's his core. That's it. Like that's it. You're talking about Marv
get a
and
27
Hunter
first and a 104 or 5 or 6.
Boom. Move back to 105 and get that extra pick. Move back. And with those 107, 108, 109, get a 27 first, or what's really becoming easy is get a 28 first plus. You know what I mean? Like the 20, no one will deal their 27 first right now. Like I'm talking to people and I'm like, all right, what do you want here? Like I'm shopping Tyler Warren. They're like, I wouldn't even pay a 27 first. Like the 27 first name cachet, the value of them has just skyrocketed. But the idea is, at 7, 8, and 9, we're trying to trade back to 27 first plus. We're trying to, because we don't want the points. Like if you want the 101 next year, which is the Maserati of all, like you're literally getting Jeremiah Smith, you need that 101. And in order to do so, you don't want those picks. Like I was talking to a guy today. I said, what do you want for a Genti? He's like, I'm loaded. I have like 7 26 first. He's like, I don't want any of the 26 first. They're going to score me points. Let's start talking 27. And you want those assets that are going to take points off your team. That's injured players and that's future picks.
All right. Trade 8 here coming from Avalon, submitted through Twitter. We got Mahomes and Nabers or Daniels and Jefferson. Snoog, I'll kick this one your way. What do we like? You're muted. I'll hand it over to Dad.
I always click the button. That's crazy.
I'm smashing Mahomes
and
Nabers.
Take it first.
I'm taking Mahomes and Nabers. I mean,
yeah.
But Snoog, I mean, I'm not on the Jefferson. I'm not. If you're in on Jefferson, are you in on Daniels and Jefferson? Because if that's the case, I mean, you have to have Daniels over Mahomes. So are you taking that Daniels Jefferson side?
I'm going to take Mahomes Nabers side. Dad, Eric Bieniemy as the offensive coordinator in Kansas City from 2018 to 2022. This is a post from NFL_researcher on Twitter.
Oh, it's
30.1 points per game first. 2.8 points per drive first. 406 total yards per game first. 6.3 yards per play first. 49.0 third down percentage first. 64.1 red zone per touchdown percentage first. 14.3 3-and-out percentage first. They were literally first in any category that makes sense and matters. And in football, I really do think that Patrick Mahomes is going to bounce back from this injury fine. He's only 30. This dude has like 10 more years, 12 more years left in his career to play high-level football, in my opinion. He's that caliber of player, that type of prospect. And I'm taking Nabers, who's, 4 years younger than Justin Jefferson, and is tied to Jackson Dart in a Harbaugh coaching style there, turning things around in the Giants. So
the left side is also first in torn ACLs. But, I mean, I'm with you. That's kind of where I'm at. I understand that's a big time trade. Like that's a very interesting one, but I love it.
Yeah, I don't, and that's one too where I don't think you lose either way. Honestly, I think
Nope,
those
probably
are
not.
4 great players. It's just pick your poison. Trade 9 here coming from Doc Coop, submitted to the Discord. We got a rebuilding teams 101 and a mid 27 first, or no, he's just rebuilding 101 and 27 first or Puka. Dad, what do you think?
101 in that pick. I mean, Puka's great. Don't get me wrong, but you're rebuilding. You're getting the mid 27 first in that 101 and then doing what you can for that 101. I say it all the time. To rebuild, you build out, then we build up. Puka's a build up. If you could tear down, the 101 can get you literally almost 3 firsts right now. So this is 4 firsts for Puka. I can't see a scenario where you keep Puka if they make this kind of offer, because if you're starting the rebuild process, you are building out 2 years from now. 2 years from now, Puka's is going to be starting to get towards that apex, and the 101's only going to continue to grow out and keep making those trades. But Snoog, I mean, if I'm contending, the gap, if this was a late first in a 101, it's hard not to go Puka if you're contending, but it's got to be 100% late.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the picks in this rebuilding situation. I think you're getting 2 absolutely elite cornerstone assets on that left-hand side. Yeah, it would need to be like 110 to 112 in this class for 2026 for me to do that as a contender for Puka.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 10th super chat coming in, so we're going to be giving away a VIP spot in the Patreon. Jaime Angel coming back again, and this was the team, Dad, where he said his running backs were Bucky, Janty, Hampton, Cook. He's getting Jeremiah Love as well. So Bucky in the 113 or Pickens and the 107. Throw it your way.
That's a double win. Pickens over Bucky and the 107 way over. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I think the perception of Pickens in your leagues is not where it should be. I value Pickens at the 102 because if he stays with the Cowboys, he's worth more than Lemon, Tyson, or Tate. But no one's valuing him that way. And even if he goes somewhere else, we talked about that T. Higgins effect where when T. Higgins was with Cincinnati and he was potentially going to be a free agent, you're like, where could he go? And you're like, if he's a target monster somewhere with a good quarterback, he put up crazy points. So, I mean, the ideal scenario is Pickens is back. But even if he leaves, I think this is a major win here on this particular trade.
Yeah, double whammy.
Trade 10 coming from Pablo Balauk. Submitted through Twitter. We got Puka or Caleb and Zay Flowers. 4-point passing. We'll assume super flex here. Dad, what do you think?
Yeah, and he messaged me. I asked him what his team was, and I believe his quarterbacks, Caleb's is QB1. I think he had Bryce Young and Kyler Murray. I love Puka Nacua, but you got to keep Caleb here. I mean, I think getting Caleb, and I know it's 4-point passing, and I know people are like, oh, well, it's not worth as much.
Zay's a great piece.
Puka's phenomenal, right? But if I got to roll out Bryce Young every week, just stick a fork in my eye. Like, I don't want to watch that crap. Like, I've had teams where Bryce Young's one of my quarterbacks. I don't want that, period. So, like, I want the quarterback. You can get – Zay Flowers will put up, 75% of Puka Nacua maybe? Like I think with a new offense and kind of Lamar opened up. But Caleb, how many more points is Caleb going to put up over Bryce Young? Caleb just finished top 10, maybe top 8. Bryce, you're going to get a 25, but then you're going to get a 2. I just don't play Superflex that way. I play for keeps. I'm not messing with that.
Yeah,
I agree.
There.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
this one coming from Dad, we got ETN or the 112 and the 306. Snoog, what do you think on this one?
I'm going to roll with ETN here. I think Dad and I talked about this. Was this on Data Lab? I swear this exact trade was on Data Lab.
It's funny because I told you when we did the show, I was like, I had this offer for the 111 and the 308. Yeah. And then I changed it to 112. It was. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's like Travis Etienne is just a buy right now. And I mean, all the late 109 to 112s, I'm trying to buy a veteran right now. Like that's what we talk about a lot. That's what we do in the Patreon. It's trying to help you guys pick the players in those pocket windows where you're trying to get it. I think up to 8, you're going to get a solid asset. 1 through 5 is going to be really nice. 6 through 8, there's some decent pieces in there. I could see landing the right way. 9 through 12, give me the equivalents right now. I mean, I saw someone trade AJ Brown for the 110 today. I saw, this is ETN for the 112. I saw, Javonte Williams for the 112 plus. Like, I'm here to get those assets that are going to put me over the top. And I don't think you're going to see anything in 2026 that's in that spot.
Yeah.
That being said, is it time to start zigging while everybody else is zagging? Like, everyone's saying they don't want their 26 late firsts. Should we be buying them? Like, if you're a rebuilder, like, I think there's a lot of opportunities here to cash out. So
I think
I'm just saying that as a retort.
I was just gonna say, I think what you try to do, Dad, is just package up like those Michael Wilson, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Derrick Henry types.
Yeah.
Put like 2 of them in a package and try to get like a 109, 108, 110, 111 type of opportunity. You probably can in some leagues you can't, but.
And trading seconds right now, I think the seconds this year are going to be weak. Like, I think the seconds are not like they were last year. Like, what running back are you going to get in the second round? Like, we just did our top 10 running back show that, Brock's working on edit right now.
Barely could come up with 8 of them.
We had an S tier with Love. We skipped the A tier. We go down to the B tier, and there's 4 guys there. And then we skip the C tier, and we go straight to D tier. There's 5 guys in this class that will be producers in the NFL.
Take me back to last off season.
And 4 of them
I'm so depressed about it. It was so much fun.
4 of them have question marks. It's a great wide receiver class, but it is not a running back class. So here we go.
Trade 12 coming from Nick Mancini, submitted through Twitter.
We already did this.
Oh, okay.
He
asked about that.
He submitted it. Yeah.
All right. Next one coming from Names23. We got Hurts and a 26 fourth or Love and a 26 second.
Please take the disrespect off of Jalen Hurts' name. I'm buying Jalen Hurts. I'm buying Devonta Smith. I'm buying Saquon Barkley. I'm buying A.J. Brown because we got a new offensive coordinator. I don't care who it is. If it's Snoog or I, we're still going to do better than Kevin Piculo did. Like, I don't even care. So Jalen Hurts with a good run game is a top-notch quarterback. Jordan Love has never and will never put up Jalen Hurts fantasy numbers on a week-to-week or a year-to-year basis anytime soon.
Yeah, second for fourth swap.
Hurts by a mile. Hurts by a mile.
We got Rex Grossman in the giving us trade questions in the Twitter. Appreciate it here, Rex. We got Gadsden and his 27 first, so he can control it, or Montgomery, Pitts, and the 112. If you want to throw that one up real quick. Gadsden and his own 27 first, or Montgomery, Pitts, and the 112. Snoog, what do you think?
Gadsden, sneaky winner from the Mike McDaniels thing, I think. Like, if anyone's gonna get the best, role. If anyone's gonna get the best out of like some big athletic freak wide receiver converted tight end, it's gonna be McDaniels, right? He literally made Darren Waller come out of retirement after a couple of years, who's been injured like for the final 3 years of his career, be a tight end 1 in fantasy. Like, he can do it all, and they're gonna have everything, and the best QBs ever coached. I think Gadsden's actually a sneaky big winner from this. Everyone's going to have to focus on Ladd, Hampton, Herbert. I think now, Dad, is our opportunity to say, what about Trey Harris? What about Gadsden? Like, why don't we go sneak, pair thirds or an early mid to second for a Gadsden and just
you got to assume Keenan's going to retire, right?
Yeah, he's gone.
So we've been talking a lot about quarterbacks. Let's talk about the 3rd worst quarterback performance of fantasy football history by Rex Grossman. He puts it straight out, but in 2006, 14 for 37, 144 yards, 0 touchdowns, 4 picks, 2 fumbles, -7 rushing yards for -6.94 fantasy points.
Oh my gosh.
The worst of all time.
Was he awful? I forget. I didn't.
Well, no, he took him to the Super Bowl, but he had a lot of like games like this.
What?
The worst of all time. 1998 Ryan Leaf, 1 for 15 passing, for 4 yards, 2 picks, 3 fumbles, -9.74. Sorry. That popped into my head as soon as Rex Grossman was there. This is Gadsden in my first, no matter what. I do like Kyle Pitts potentially to walk. I would love to see him in that Travis Kelce role with Kelce likely retiring. But I think if you can get your first back, you have to disguise this. Like, sometimes when you want your first and you're not rebuilding, but you're going to rebuild, you have to just say, you know what? This seems like a slight overpay, but here's Pitts, Monty, and the 112. Let's see what we can do. Then you get your first, then you insulate. But yeah, no, Rex Grossman was a really bad fantasy.
He had a season with 16 touchdowns and 20 picks.
And that was probably the year. The Bears defense with Urlacher took them to the Super Bowl. And that was like legitimately.
You guys remember Josh Freeman?
Yeah.
He was
I'm
like
down here in
sneaky
Tampa. I
pretty
remember Josh
solid
Freeman.
for like 5 years.
No, he was not.
Yeah, I'm looking at his stats right now. He had a
All right,
4,000-yard season,
Did
28
Stefanski-
touchdowns.
Did Stefanski call plays for the Browns?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think because I mean, Njoku and Fannin both did great. If Pitts stays in Atlanta, I could see him
Oh, yeah.
be
Yeah,
put
he's
in a
the
good
play
role
caller.
too.
He's the play caller, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so there's even opportunity if he stays in Atlanta.
He's an
I like getting Pitts right
unbelievable
now.
like run game establishing play action guy. Like Dalvin Cook in Minnesota when he was the offensive coordinator there was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like phenomenal with Stefanski and Chubb.
Yeah, it's
and
going to be
Hunt.
interesting, all these new schemes and who's going to start producing with all these head coaching changes.
I know.
Trade 15 here coming from Yonert. We got Olave, Higgins, or Jaden Higgins and the 107 108. So we got a double Higgins trade, Dad. What do we think here?
Olave and T. I have Olave worth the 4, Higgins worth the 5. I don't think Jaden Higgins would get me from the 107 and 8 to the 104 and 5.
That's a smash.
It's not a bad idea. Like I think
It needs
Jaden
to be
Higgins
like
and
someone better.
with Higgins in the 108 for either of those, I would consider. But like together, I hate when you take like 2 pieces here and 2 pieces here, and then try to make Jaden Higgins polish them up real nice to look like that. And it never works when you do that kind of thing. Like it's likely that you're going to lose. And I'm keeping the known assets there that are worth considerably more.
I don't like Jaden Higgins that much. I don't see it with him.
It's okay.
Yeah.
He's really bad through like press and physical man coverage. Like, he just does not win. Like he's just slow. Like I don't know. He's just like a wicked slow Christian Watson to me.
Well, skip over that since we're talking Jaden Higgins. Let's go straight to DA Dynasty.
All right. DA Dynasty's asking about Jaden Higgins, quarterback, CJ Stroud, or Tyler Shuck in a 28-1, Dad. What do you like here?
Oh, it's Tyler Shuck, and it's not even close.
Oh. That's crazy.
Dude, Tyler Shuck was 10 times a better quarterback than CJ Stroud this year. Like
I wouldn't go that.
From a fantasy football perspective, that's what we play. Like Tyler Shuck was really good. CJ Stroud was really bad. So you get the 28.
He was pretty like decent from a fantasy perspective this season when he was healthy. I feel like
Shuck was wild. Like he was actually
Shuck
putting
was
up
good.
really nice. So I put this one in there because I wanted to kind of get your opinion there, because I know like you could probably get CJ Stroud for a late first right now, because like the bad taste in people's mouth, the way that he performed in the playoffs, like I think he's much more talented than that. But like Tyler Shuck from weeks 13 on, 25, 24, 24, 23, 30, 27, like those 3 top 10 finishes, my man was balling out. I don't think the talent is better than CJ Stroud, but CJ Stroud is definitely a buy. Tyler Shuck is a name definitely worth monitoring. I wanted to throw that one in there before we get to my man Ice Cold Yeet.
All right, Ice Cold Yeet. Let me scroll up real quick. We got Garrett Wilson and the 105 and a 27 first. We'll call it mid. Puka and a mid 27 second, Dad. Where do you lie on this one?
This is a fun one. Like I think if you're really tired of Garrett Wilson and that's a late 27 first, I could start to get it. I think the Garrett Wilson side is probably going to win this trade. Like I think you get Garrett Wilson, then you get the best wide receiver from this class that's left, and then you get the 27-1-2 swap. I mean, I think we're looking at this as like Puka's phenomenal, right? Like Puka is unbelievable. I'm trying to buy Puka wherever I can because I think he's going to just do it again next year. But this is really a lot of value to give up on that left side, Snoog.
Yeah, I'm smashing Garrett Wilson's side. I'm not even thinking twice about it. That's 3 really, really elite assets for one to me. So I would take Garrett Wilson here.
I like that one too. MLock 3 here, next trade coming from Discord.
Ooh.
We got Achane and Marv or Henderson and Pickens. This is the one I picked for the thumbnail. I like this one. Snoog, which side do you lean?
I'm going Hendo Pickens. I actually saw this one. This was in the Discord, I think. This one's really tough. Like you're banking on, can Hendo become another Achane type player or get close, and can Marv become Pickens? Like that's literally like it feels like they're each other's comps, right? Like it feels like Marv should be like what Pickens is, and like Hendo could be Achane. it's one that I'm not excited to make. I'd prefer to just not make this trade at all. But if I had to pick a side, I would probably lean Hendo and Pickens if he stays in Dallas or goes somewhere good. I really want him to stay in Dallas, though.
Good point there about Dallas. I think you're right. It's like I have more faith that Henderson becomes closer to Achane than I do that Marv will come closer to where Pickens is. You know, like I just have more faith there. Achane's the piece that I want the most, but I'm leaning Hendo Pickens. And like Snoog said, it's like I don't think I have to make this trade. I think Achane. I want to see who the quarterback is. The rumor is that Miami is going really hard after Malik Willis. I don't think Malik Willis is great for Devon Achane. I really don't. I think Malik Willis is great for Malik Willis. I think he's great for that offense in general, but I don't think he's great for Devon Achane with the way he plays. So that part,
we got to see who they bring.
Dude, Willis. I'm hearing Willis to the Dolphins. I'm hearing possibly Lamar Jackson to the Raiders in a flip-flop. There's so many fun rumors, and that's
Willis to me feels like you just setting your franchise back, like trying to go after him and trying to like make him your. Like he's not a franchise QB. Like he's fun. He can throw the ball hard and he's fast.
Was still under contract because don't they lose like $90 million if they cut to him?
They're screwed. Why do you think McDaniels was so happy to get out of there? He's like, yeah, I'll go take an OC job, making millions.
Overpaying your quarterback who's mid is just a Daniel Jones that set the Giants back forever. You know what I mean? Like these kind of moves, they kill your franchise. I mean, Kirk Cousins to the Falcons. Like that just sets you back. Like that, you're in cap purgatory. Then it's game over.
Yeah. All right. This trade coming from JG Gray 412. We got if you have the 101, what's the minimum you take to move to the 102? I like this question, Dad. I'm gonna have you do picks. Snoog, you do player equivalents. What do you think, Dad, to move back one spot?
If I'm sitting on the 101 today, you have to give me a mid-27 first to move back to 102, and no one's going to do it. But I think that's what the price is. We saw it for the 103. For me, the gap between 102, 103, 104, 105 is next to nothing. So, like, in order for me to move from 101 to 102 through 105, I want a mid-27 first. If you can get that, especially for the 102, I have no problem with that because then at the 102, I think most people are going to want Mendoza. I'm perfectly fine to move back to the next wide receiver. So let's play it again. You know, move from 101 to 102, get to 27 first, move from 102 to 105, do a 1-2 swap. Now all of a sudden you're sitting there with Carnell Tate and 2 firsts as opposed to Jeremiah Love in a second. That's kind of how I look at it.
I think you hit on that big time there. I mean, player equivalent wise, like I'd want, like Dad said, T. Higgins, Zay Flowers, Devontae Smith, running backs, maybe some guys like, I don't know, in that like Quinchon Judkins type of range. I don't think anyone's going to do it, but like if you're taking the 101 from me, you better be like knocking my socks off. Just like it was last year, just like the year before, just like the year before that. Every single year it's like this.
Yeah, you get your pick of the litter, and especially last year and this year where there's a clear-cut tier above
Do you
the rest.
think there's going to be leagues that Fernando Mendoza goes 101 in Superflex? I feel like people are going to force that pick.
Yes.
Like I feel like people are going to make that pick.
People on Twitter are asking me nonstop. They're like, Dad, I really need a quarterback.
I was going to say.
Stop. You don't need a quarterback. It's January. You don't need anything.
Someone already said it to me.
Let it play out.
He said, I have the 102 in a roster review. He said, I have the 102 and it's going to be Jeremiah Love. The guy already is 100% locked in on Mendoza. He's a big Mendoza fan. He's taking him 101. I'm like, dude, you hit the jackpot.
Yeah. Don't trade the 102 then, that's for sure. If people are going to consider taking that. And I do that in leagues sometimes. You're like, hey, you know, like I'm sitting there at the 102. What are you thinking? You know, like what's the gap from 101 to 102? And they'll tell you. And sometimes they'll be like, right off the bat, they're like, oh, I love Mendoza. I'm not doing it. And you're like, whoa, thank you. Appreciate it.
I'll shut up.
Last year, rookie draft, I was at the 102. I traded back to the 105 and got 105 and 106. He moved up for Tet. I ended up getting Hampton and Henderson at 105 and 106.
He got like 10 at 101.
He took a 102.
Okay.
I think it went Tet. Yeah, it was Tet, Hunter, Ward, and then I got Hampton, Henderson back to back. And I'm suddenly like, dude, that is amazing. Like, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, here's a very similar one. I'm glad we're on this.
Yeah, it's another equivalent moving back from the 101 from Main Mac. We got Egbuka and 103 or the 101. So Snoog, is that enough for you?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. That's a good
Yeah.
haul. That's a good haul. You're gonna get like someone that's really good at the 103 still. Like
I think I would take the 103 and try to buy a running back then too. You know what I mean? Like if that's really where you're at.
Yeah.
If you're rebuilding, it's 103 and Egbuka, not even debating. If you're all in and like you don't need it, I'd rather have Jeremiah Love than have Egbuka on my bench. Like, but this is the right trade.
I feel like you could still get like Hampton Henderson's for like the 103, 102. Like I think people would still be open to that.
Speaking of which, I mean, PJ Kennedy from Twitter just asked 101 or Judkins and Harvey. This is a similar type thing as Brock. Would you sell the 101 for these two?
No, it'd have to be Judkins, and then, like Snoog said when doing those equivalents, something else still in that 2 to 5 range.
T. Higgins, Zay Flowers.
If I could walk away with Judkins and Tate Tyson Lemon, but I just don't know who's doing that. But like that's what it'd take to move off.
These guys are all hitting on this towards the end. It's like Angelo Masso from Twitter is also saying 101 in Loveland or JSN 205. That's a creative trade there.
I'm keeping 101 in Loveland.
I am too.
That feels crazy to say, but like. Oh my gosh! And
I said it in regular, and then he messaged me. He's like, "Does it change that it's 2-point PPR for tight ends?" And I'm like, yeah, then it's Loveland, Loveland by a country mile." And the last one, Brock, let's get some insight from you. Sour Skittles from the Discord says, with the McDaniels news, do I cash out on Lad McConkey for the 104? Do you want 104 or do you want what's there? Whoa, let Brett. I was kind of giving the spotlight over here to Brock for a little bit. No, I know, because you say Lad McConkey and like that's synonymous with a couple shows.
I went to battle last year. I went to battle last year on that.
Yeah, what are you thinking? I'll throw the last one back to you then. We got this here from JG Rhymes. He sent this in literally while the show was going. But Amarion Hampton or the 108 and 109?
Hampton easily. I mean, if you say Concepcion and Boston go 6 and 7, then like who's even left that could even come close to Hampton in that range? So
yeah,
Hampton easily.
It's not. I love that. And this is the time where you package 8 through 12, 2 of those guys. And we say players are worth 2 first, right? And if you put it in on like a lot of guys come to me and they're like, well, Keep Trade Cut says the 108 and 109 is the same as Devon Achane. Well, they're wrong. Like it's Devon Achane by a mile, you know? So we're going to give away 1 VIP Patreon. All 10 of you guys are now entered to win that Nico Collins jersey. We will announce it next week on the trade show. I know a lot of you guys have been like, Dad, I know there's a lot of different giveaways out there. We are trying to get it to as many different opportunities as possible because it's a pretty sick jersey. So we're going to be giving that away next week. Make sure you guys tune in. Here we go. Let's give away 1 VIP Patreon.
Let's roll.
To a lucky winner. Let's get us somebody new. Who we got? I think Pete Spin wins every single week, but he's a trooper. He goes out there and kind of, I saw on multiple occasions, a lot of these guys have gifted them to friends or gifted them to other people in the Discord. So that's a pretty awesome thing. Guys, this is a fun time of year. I'm trying to pull it up there, but Patreon, the one guy said, we don't sleep, and Dynasty doesn't sleep. If you are sitting there waiting for the rest of your league mates, you're going to be losing, I value this in life, and I think it matters in Dynasty, is what you aren't changing, you're choosing. If you leave your roster there, literally you're like in life, if you're not changing a bad habit, if you're not trying to move forward, that's your choice. Now you've chose that as your life. You know what I mean? And in Dynasty, if I choose to keep Justin Jefferson on my team right now, that's my choice, right?
Jefferson.
But Jamar Jefferson, like I want to
a real person.
Dude, Jamar for the Lions running back.
But what I'm saying is, make those trades, make those extra moves, get yourself into positions to smash your trades and get into, opportunities where Snoog and I are 4 and 5X in our money every single year. So thanks again for tuning in, guys, and enjoy the process. Go trade for Jamar Jefferson.